You're not stuck. You're not stuck. What you have is lack of clarity. Clarity will provide the movement, the direction that you need to get unstuck. When you have that head pull against your heart pull, it can be a tussle. It can be a tussle. And mentally, emotionally, you can be drained there. Just trying to figure out what to do, how to fix it, how to address it. You're not stuck. You're lacking clarity. And the only way you can get the clarity that you need is to do the work. Because if you don't put forth the mental effort, then you're going to stay in that head-heart pull all the time. Fear will come in. The uncertainty will bring and produce anxiety. Clarity is what you need. When you feel that gap between, should I do this? Should I say that? Should I try this? Should I try that? That confusion state, that anxiety producing state can cause you to feel stuck. But what it is lack of clarity. Avoidance is dressed up as strategy when you're stuck. I'm just not going to do nothing now. I'm not going to say anything now. I'm going to just wait. I'm just going to wait. The truth is, once you have clarity, then you can make the movement toward the decision, toward the outcome that you want. But you first got to do the work. And that work comes from thinking things through, making a decision. The old folks used to say, crap or get off the pot. Because in other words, you got to do something. You got to move. Pick a direction. Pick a direction. But doing nothing, continuing to avoid movement, that's not the answer. You have to stop blaming other people. It may not be them, and maybe it is a little them, but maybe it's a lot you, and maybe you just don't want to face that fact. We have a lot to do with whether or not, with our destiny, with whether or not we're going to participate, whether or not we're going to fully give ourselves, whether or not we're going to fully trust, whether or not we're going to take the risk. We choose that. We choose that. We decide that for ourselves. So when you go to blaming other people, remember what the old folks used to say, when you pointing at somebody else, there's that finger always pointing back at you. You got to accept responsibility for whatever state you're in, whatever state you're in. Own it. Stop the blaming vibes. Take action. Take action now. You don't need more information. What you need is to look inside of yourself and see what your heart is telling you versus what your head is telling you, and take a stance. Which one you going to go with? Because one will speak louder than the other one. And the one that is speaking the loudest, head versus heart, is the one that's going to win. So stop prolonging it. Stop procrastinating it. And just make a decision after you've thought it through. You're not stuck. You just need clarity. And you're only going to get the clarity when you do the internal work to produce it. So here's your challenge. What have you been avoiding? What have you been avoiding doing? What is it that your heart and your head is struggling with? Now, level up and do the work. It's time to make a decision. Which one is going to speak louder? Which one are you going to obey? Because doing nothing will solve nothing. And before you know it, time will have passed and you will have been in that avoidance state for a long time and nothing will have changed. Write down what that decision is, what that struggle is, and make a decision. Take one action toward solving it, fixing it, getting closer to that goal. And then tell somebody about it. Tell someone so that they will know it and it'll hold you accountable to moving forward. Clarity is not something you find. It's not something you find. It's something you create through movement. And that movement requires internal work. You don't need to be perfect to move forward. You just need to make a move. I'm Candy Christoph, and you've tuned in for another legacy lesson on today. Tune in again next Tuesday for another legacy lesson. And remember, you're not stuck. You've been in avoidance, dressed up as strategy. Now it's time for you to get clarity so you can move forward. You know, you decide. You are in charge of the life you live and how you're going to live it. And you are in charge. You get to decide what legacy you're going to leave. I'm Candy Christoph. Thank you for tuning in, and bye-bye for now.